pictures of all the NHL players. Coolest substitute ever.
All of the crap that they'd got up to with it. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to
It again this evening.
Yep, they certainly will. I'm not sure if my sound's working here terribly well. I think it might just be the volume that's been changed around a bit. But anyway, hopefully it's working so everyone gets subjected to our opinions. I'm sure they'll appreciate them. But yeah, so this week the team's a little bit different. The Snipers last week were without their main spearhead with Liam Webster. He's back this week, so they've got a little bit more offensive prowess. Last week they were good and solid in defence, but just the Dogs kept killing them in the neutral zone, and there was no options for them to get out. And they resorted to chip and chase over and over and over again as a game strategy, and that ultimately led to them just giving away far too much puck, and the Dogs just with overwhelming pressure managed to just pepper the net and get 5 goals. So with a bit of luck tonight, they've got Liam Webster back. Liam now is signed up for the Ducks in the upcoming Pacific League, which starts here on May the 14th, which we're tremendously excited about. We'll be bringing you those games throughout the home games here as well for the Melbourne Ducks when they start up with the inaugural series of the Pacific League, which, Anton, I don't know about you, but I'm tremendously excited about. That's going to be amazing competition.
Quack, quack.
Quack,
Ready to
quack.
go for the Ducks.
Quack, quack.
Definitely
quack.
excited. But,
so we're looking forward to that very much.
Yeah.
And volume levels bouncing around again, but hopefully everyone can hear us reasonably clearly.
For sure.
So this evening, players to watch out for, of course, Birkin Vajasov, the magic line from the Dogs. And who else have you got your eye on tonight?
You know what? I want to actually look at, obviously we talk about those offensive players for the Dogs, but also on their back end, the guys like Robertson, Joyce, Kahu, who can lay the body as well, and Carpenter, just to execute and jump up to support those forwards. But I want to go back to last game, and I know 5-0, it's easy to talk about a blowout, but if we go back and we see the way that the Snipers played that first period, they did a great job of really stifling the offense of these CCM Dogs, and actually had a few really good opportunities. Turnovers.
They most certainly did, yes.
Right,
yep.
Few turnovers that they couldn't put back in the net. But I'm telling you, if the Dogs make those same mistakes and the puck gets on the stick of the Wizard Webster, right,
yep.
He's going to put that puck in the net, right?
Absolutely. I think he was the big thing missing from their part. But you mentioned Kahu Joyce, and he wasn't here last week. I think, fairly sure he wasn't. Anyway, he's such a magnificent playmaker for the Dogs and also such a strong reader of defence. But Jack Carpenter's back, and this is his second round back from injury. And last week, I think he might have been a little bit disappointed just with his precision. He was just a smidge, obviously a bit rusty. He'd been injured and he'd missed a few games. So watch for him to improve this evening. He certainly improved through the last game as well. But I'm looking forward to seeing him be a bit more of a factor in the Dogs' defensive lineup. He's such an entertaining player to watch.
That's for sure.
He's always got that great smile on his face, but also with the return of Mikey Ting and his just crazy intensity.
Yeah,
it's just such a brilliant player to watch.
And we saw that last week, right? He got on the score sheet. You know, he did a lot of great forechecking. And really, you know, for the Dogs, we always talk about their big line, right? Vrjasov, Burke, and Ruddle. But they really need guys like Mikey Ting and Koenig and Shishuma to really jump up and give them that added pressure to really keep that offense going. And the big story of the Pro League so far this season is the fact that these CCM Dogs and their mean black unis, right? they haven't lost a single game, right?
That's true. They haven't lost one.
And I'll tell you what, these snipers, there's a bunch of very proud men that play on that team. They're going to want to make sure that we're back here again tomorrow night for another match. And I know Brent would have said in the dressing room, go out there, trust yourselves. We've seen them keep the play close with these Dogs, and just go out there and have some fun, because when these guys are playing their system and they're having fun, they're a dangerous team as well.
Without a doubt, I don't think there's any team here that realistically had a chance of beating the Dogs, with the exception of the Snipers, especially after that mid-season draw when they picked up a bit more muscle ND. And so. Yep, I think you're right. I think they're looking for. They'd like to come back tomorrow night for a Saturday evening out here in Reservoir. It's a nice time. And so we're looking forward to a really exciting game. So Anton, what are your thoughts on Pacific coming up fairly soon?
I think it's going to be a great opportunity for the people here in Australia to see some more lovely hockey. I mean, we've seen here with the Pro League, it's been really great. We've seen the numbers of fans coming out, more and more each week, and the players are loving it. And I think with the iceHQ Ducks here, the home team that we'll be able to watch week in and week out, they picked up some really great names, and they're going to look like they're going to have a strong team. Some good young players as well to help with the development. And I definitely am going to be excited to be here on Saturday and Sunday nights to call the games. That's for sure.
I've been very much looking forward to spending those evenings with you, all cozied up in the commentary box.
For sure. Well, sharing some of those amazing hot chips, as I said, best chips in Melbourne here from the cafe.
It's a big call on the best chips in Melbourne, but they're certainly very good. And my Canadian friend is all still excited about poutine.
Definitely. But I think we were in for a really good game last week. And like we say all the time, the Dogs score in bunches. So I think if the Snipers are going to get ahead in this game, they're going to want to continue what they did last week, which was really block the neutral zone, because we know that's the area that the Dogs like to attack through. And then they're going to want to try to pounce early and get one past Holland, because that's the big thing, right? Not many teams have even been able to score on the Dogs, right?
So they're going to try underway now. The game is going. So
here we are, right, with in the Snipers zone. We have McMahon down in the corner battling with Burke and Vrjasov. Burke gets it out to the point to Robinson. Robinson for the Dogs, shoots it there, but an interception there for Sincata. So Sincata here for the Snipers through the neutral zone. Just takes a nice little shot on just through the arms of Holland, and a nice hit there by Robertson on Van Down allows Burke to come out in the neutral zone. So Burke sends that over, and Vrjasov picks it up here on the half wall. Takes that deep into the corner, cuts in front, tried to find Burke, but that was McMahon there able to block that. Puck squirts out for Sweatman here for the Snipers. So here come the Snipers into the attacking zone. Sweatman just throws that on into the glove of Holland, who will cover that up, and we'll have a face-off here to his right.
Snipers showing their intentions early. They've got a couple of good shots on right in the first couple of minutes of play, which is what they need to be doing. They're not getting caught up in the neutral zone at the moment, which is much more positive than they were last week. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Yeah, early on.
Opportunity here from the face-off.
Yeah, early on it looks like throw shots on and get that forecheck hard and heavy, right? And let's see if that works out for him. So a little battle here in the corner. You've got Lindsay Nash there against Carpenter. Carpenter comes out with it, but isn't able to get it past into Keaton. So Carpenter now gets it up to Dixon, who sends it up to Koenig. Koenig now just missed the puck, but was able to fit it through to Dixon. So Dixon through to Carpenter. Carpenter sends that through to the middle, but a nice interception there by Subert. Koenig picks up that loose puck, though, and he'll battle with Subert, who dumps him into the corner. But Mikey Ting's able to get it back to Carpenter. Carpenter with a shot. Goes in front. There we go! Mikey Ting, who'd just been dumped in the corner, gets up into the slot and pots that one home, and we got a 1-0 hockey game.
That was a beautiful example of just getting in the slot and getting those dirty goals. It was a juicy rebound that popped out, and he just got that lovely little push in. Let's just have a look at this on the CCM replay. And we'll see exactly what Mikey Ting does. Great positioning, gets himself in, picks up that loose puck, and nothing much a goalie can do with that one.
That one actually hit Ting, and he had that deflected right to his stick and just able to get through. So tough one for Michael James, but we highlighted Mikey Ting right at the beginning of the broadcast here tonight, and sure enough, he did us proud, and he's got the first goal here in the second final.
So a little bit of puck luck on that one, but that's how if you're in position, those things come true for you.
You know the old saying, right? You got to be lucky to be good, but you got to be good to be lucky, right?
Yeah, absolutely right.
So here we are now. The Snipers trying to get one back, but the Dogs able to corral that in their own zone and send that deep, and that will go all the way down. Right, waved off actually. So Sincata gets there down, and he takes that, circles back behind his net, has a peek, and sends that over to McMahon. So McMahon now for the Snipers carries it out with a pass through to Webster, who just chips that down through to Robertson. Nice little stretch pass there over to Shishuma, who will battle there with Sincata. Gets that deep for Morris, who sends that in on Mikey James, who will cover that up, and we'll have another face-off.
Yeah, so it's a good enterprising play. So far it's been pretty even on the ice. Obviously the goal was affecting the scoreboard, but at the moment you couldn't pick one team as being dominant over the other. It is only early days, but it's pretty even at the moment, which is what we're hoping for.
We've seen a few plays, though, that we saw that the Snipers got caught in last week was just dumping that puck out of their zone to the defenders of the Dogs. So they're going to want to make sure that they're a little bit more crisp and efficient on those breakouts.
Yep.
So Vrajasov, as he often does, twisting and turning, gets it down to Burke. Burke now with a shot just off the half outside of the net, but he'll pick up his rebound and send that back to Vrajasov, who will pick that up and take it into the corner. Vrajasov takes it behind the net, battling with Subert, does a great job protecting it, takes it to his back and then curls back. There we go, sends it behind the net for Jamie Burke to pick up. And Burke with their battle, a nice job by our linesman, our referee Craig there just to jump out of the way.
There's some good defence there from Subert. He did a good job not being overwhelmed by Vrajasov and Burke circling around.
And here they go playing catch, so Vrajasov to Burke, Burke to Vrajasov, Burke in front, a nice poke check there by Mikey James. But Burke will pick up the puck again, and this line's just been dominating this shift so far. And Leo will get that deep down to Ruddle, who'll send that around, and Cooper Metcalf will get there first. So Cooper Metcalf now sends it up to Lazzarato, and the Snipers are out. So here's Van Down, 1-on-2, so he'll dump that down and go for a change. Great job by the Snipers to keep that out, but an even better job by this top line of the Dogs just to keep that offensive pressure and really work the Snipers.
I think what we saw there was a little bit of a line mismatch with the A-line of the Snipers being caught on the bench with Burke and Vrajasov on.
So there's Munro. He was looking for Webster, but just a little bit too much heat on that pass, but McMahon was able to pick it up. So now here we go. Webster through the neutral zone. He's here on Bennett, shoots, but that just goes wide. Lindsay Nash picks it up behind, ships it in front, but that hits off the net into the corner, and Robertson will pick that up and send it up to Dixon. Just into his skates, but does a great job just to corral that. But an errant pass goes into the corner for Robertson to pick up. Robertson to Bennett now. And here's the Dogs through kind of nice little hand-eye coordination there by Sincata for the Snipers to keep that in, but can't find a teammate. And that'll only get as far as line as McMahon. So McMahon now will dump that deep. So we're starting to see a little bit of offensive pressure now for the Snipers. And that's
there's some good sustained pressure on this stanza.
Yeah, Lindsay Nash battling there in the corner. So there's Koenig dropping it for Ting, who makes a nice little move to keep that away from Nash. Ting looking for Dixon, just misses, but a deflection by Munro negates any opportunity for an icing. So that's Sincata over to McMahon, who'll battle with Koenig and uses his frame just to keep Koenig away. And he'll twist and turn and finally chip it out to Webster. So great defensive play there by McMahon. And Webster was looking for the stretch pass, but a nice little hand-eye coordination by Dixon just to chop that down and get that back to his defender. So the Dogs now corralling it in their own zone. That was Leo looking for his defensive partner in Carpenter, who now will send it back over to Leo. Leo's going to send that up to Kahu Joyce, who will then pass that over up to Morris. Morris dumps that deep. Mikey James comes out to stop that for his defenseman there.
Looks like they've got Kahu playing as a forward at the moment.
Yeah, so Carpenter now the shot. Saved by James. Morris with a shot. Blocked by Sincata. Deflection just over the net. And Kahu will battle in the corner there with Webster. So I think you're right there, Carl. We've got Kahu, who normally would be playing on the back end for the Dogs. He's playing up, and we'll be looking for, and a deflection. Goes up and off the post, but stays out for the Snipers. So a little bit of puck luck there for the team in blue. But they'll corral this now through Sincata and whip that around for Cooper Metcalf to give chase. And Carpenter was pointing up there to the netting, and that went out. So we'll have a face-off, no penalty as it was deflected out, but it will be a face-off here in the sniper zone.
Anton, just a bit of an observation, looking at the way the lines are matching up against each other. Traditionally, the snipers have gone with the Cincotta and McMahon line defending on Vajasov and Burke, and they haven't done that at the moment. They've switched things around a little bit.
Yeah. So I think what we've seen here, McMahon's just kind of getting a little bit of a double shift now because, as you said, that big line for the Dogs have come over the board. So they're going to want to try to keep McMahon out on that side. Great save there by Mikey James. That's going to spit out to Ryan Bennett. So here's Ruddle now, shot, gets behind, Mikey James comes out. I love a goalie who comes out to play that puck. And he's able to get it, but not all the way out. That was kept in nicely by Bennett. And McMahon now battles. So that was a great pass over to Burke in the front to Ruddle. Makes a nice move, makes another shot. Oh my Lord, almost a goal, but close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, right? Right, Carl?
That's the one. Oh. That's one of those game-saving saves.
Yeah, I'd like to see that on the CCM all-out replay because that was a brilliant move there in the front. Backhand to forehand, back to the backhand, back to the forehand once more, and a great shot. And I think Mikey James was tall to the task and made a great save.
Yeah, that's one of those ones that you put on a highlight reel. We did see one of the most spectacular saves I've ever seen here last week, and Mikey James looks like he's in form to do that sort of stuff again, which they need to do, the snipers. They've got to stop those pucks going in the net.
Well, for all you goalies watching, if you want to see some goaltending highlights, just watch the highlights of Mikey James so far this season. Every game he's got a world-class save.
And he's had plenty of chances to save too. There's been lots of shots.
So just on that, we have Burke getting a 2-minute penalty. So we're going to have the snipers on the power play. And here's Cincotta on the point. Winds up, sends that down to Sweatman. So Sweatman with a shot. Trying to get the stick on Lazzarato, but just hopped over. But the snipers have maintained possession. And Sweatman now has it on the near wall. He'll send that back to Cincotta. Cincotta winds up with a shot. Deflected off the stick of Koenig. And Lazzarato just couldn't get the puck. And that's a little hand pass there by Leo.
A little bit of a meeting of the minds there in the corner between Lazzarato and
Leo.
And Leo.
And it looks like we're going to have a 2-minute penalty to Lazzarato for a little extra push once Leo had gone down and tried to sweep that puck up to the front.
There was a little bit of a squabble towards the end of the game last week, which may have been a bit of an attempt to try and rile up some of the Dogs into getting themselves match penalties and being excluded this game. But it didn't work out for the Snipers. Yeah. Not that it was necessarily a deliberate ploy, but you never know.
So 4-on-4 now. We have Mikey Ting, the spark plug, out with Vajasov, with Burke in the box. And he'll be in the box for another 40 seconds. And then he'll be coming out, and then we'll have a power play for the Dogs.
And that'll be a situation the Snipers most certainly don't want to be in with the power play at this point. Lazzarato off for enthusiastic work with the bit of pushing and shoving.
So here's Sweatman with a face-off win against Vajasov, and the Snipers just alley-oop that puck. Chip it out to center ice for the Dogs to give chase. So here's Robertson behind his own net. Just waiting for his teammates to skate, and he'll pass that over to Vajasov, who will no doubt skate that into the offensive zone, as he often does. Nice little stick handle with a shot. He scores! Vadim Vajasov with an absolutely beautiful goal. Takes that over the blue line with a nice little shimmy, brings it onto the inside, and rifles that top shelf.
He does have magic hands, and that'll bring us back to 5-on-5 after this. Jamie Burke was just topping on just as that shot was taken. But we've got a timeout now. Some discussion going on about some technicality we're not aware of.
Yeah, I think they're just having a quick discussion on the penalty. They're saying that Burke wasn't actually out of the box, so it remains on the 4-on-4, which makes that a regulation goal. He'll hop out of the box, and the Dogs will go onto the power play.
And I'm sure he'll come straight on the drop of the puck.
Yeah.
But he does have to wait for the officials to open the door. You
That's
can't
for
just
sure.
Hop out when you feel like it.
So great timeout by Brent Laver here. He's just going to be bringing the guys in. 2-0 game. He wants to just remind them we need to break this down defensively. Let's stop these opportunities that seem to be coming off the rush and be a little bit smarter with the puck in our own zone, right? Because we've seen what they got caught last week doing was chipping it out, and just allowing these really mobile defense from the CCM Dogs to really move the puck and give it up to those forwards who are super quick. So
the Snipers were pretty much unable to escape the neutral zone trap last week, and as a result, as we say, they were just doing chip and chase over and over again, which is a negative way to play the game, and it just wasn't working, especially when the dogs with the defence were getting back and just piling on more and more pressure. And we all know what happens when you get lots and lots of pressure. Sooner or later, the puck ends up in the net. So we're about to get underway again after this brief timeout. 2-0 the score at the moment to the Dogs.
So 2 goals, 6 shots. You couldn't blame Michael James on either of those goals. But the Snipers are really going to need to dig deep now to get back into this hockey game if they hope to get back here tomorrow night for a chance to win this cup.
They might be inspired by Florida taking on the Maple Leafs earlier this week. Those of you Leaf fans, I do apologise, but
subtle,
you know.
subtle dig for the resident Torontonian on the team, eh?
Yes.
Yeah, we do know how to give up a lead, that's for sure.
That's all right. So do my boys. Boston have given away a fair few in the over the last season.
But I'll tell you what, it just shows it doesn't matter what league you play in, right?
Yep.
A lead is never safe.
Yep,
and and as great as the Dogs have been playing, you know, these Snipers, they're going to be hungry to get one, and that's all they need to break open that game, right? So here comes Morris now for the Dogs, taking it deep into the corner.
Now 5-on-4 with the Dogs with the power play.
Sends that back to Tashuma. So Tashuma sends that down to Joyce in the corner, sends that in the front to Carpenter. Carpenter from the point with a shot, and Mikey James grabs that right into the glove and makes a brilliant save.
Yeah, he did a good snatch there. It wasn't going to go in the net, but it was a good way to run the clock down.
Yeah.
It was clearly going to miss high and to the left of the net, but he did a nice job of just catching it anyway, and that takes another few seconds out of the power play. They've only got 5 seconds now to kill on the penalty.
So here's Carpenter on the point with another shot right into the mitt.
And we're back to full strength.
Mikey James.
Lazzarato back on after the conclusion of his penalty.
There we go. So 5-on-5. You know, pretty decent power play to start for the Snipers. Unfortunately, Lazzarato got that penalty, and then 4-on-4 with the extra space. You know, the Dogs with Vadim Vrajasov. You give him with 5-on-5, he can find space, and with one less or 2 less players on the ice, he was just able to weave and make some magic and
without
score.
wishing to bring the name of the great one in vain. That was Gretzky's trick. He used to organise penalties so they'd have 4-on-4, so he'd have more room to move, and he would score a lot of his goals in that way. Back in the old days. Not suggesting that Vrajasov is quite up to Gretzky's standard, but I'm sure he'd like to be.
Well, he's been one of the top scorers so far in the pro league, and whenever he touches the puck, it seems like some magic happens.
Yeah, there's a magnet in his stick and a magnet in the puck.
And that's for sure. And they're these Snipers, if they're going to hope to come back, not only are they going to have to score, but they're going to have to figure out a way to neutralize Vadim and Burke. So nice job by Sinkata there to get the puck deep and get that first. So that was just a little miscommunication there, and McMahon missed the puck, but Sinkata was able to get back and send that across for McMahon to collect.
Yeah, good recovery there by the Snipers' defense.
So McMahon now sends that through, intercepted by Burke, and he'll take that in over the blue line. So Burke cuts into the slot, tries to take it, just misses it. So here's Sweatman now, sends it over to Lazzarato, and Robertson just able to keep that in and send that deep into the corner for Tashuma. Tashuma sends that through for Burke, and he's going to battle there with Sweatman, and Burke comes out with the puck. So Burke now crossing the line, intercepted there by Metcalf, but Sweatman wasn't able to collect that, and Burke was able to chip that forward for Vrajasov. Vrajasov back to Burke, back to Vrajasov. Vrajasov now into the slot, getting battled. Backhand over to Ruddle, but a nice job by Sinkata to intercept that play. So Sweatman now battling there with Ruddle. Vrajasov picks up the puck. Burke is calling for it, and he gets it over to Burke. So Burke now just not able to collect that, and that was McMahon hitting his equal number there on the corner, and that just squirted out, and we'll have a offside with a face-off here just in front of the commentary box.
Interesting tussle there with McMahon and Burke. They're teammates in the upcoming Pro League the upcoming Pacific for the Melbourne Ducks.
And I'm sure they'll have a beer after the game,
Sure
but today they're enemies.
So you've got the wrong colour jersey on.
Yeah.
It's on.
That's the beauty of our sport, right?
Yep.
They're absolute warriors and combatants there on the ice, but after we're all friends, right?
Almost.
A barbaric sport played by gentlemen.
Yes,
right?
similar to rugby in a lot of ways.
Yes. So there we go. That's Subert sending it up to Nash. So Nash now takes it wide on Bennett, sends it in, and Holland will do his own little catch and freeze.
Nash and Sinkata have both been doing the right thing for the Snipers. They're getting shots on the net, which was missing last week. They haven't been great shots, but they're getting them in there, and that adds to the fatigue of the goalie, and that's what they need to be doing there. Getting much better penetration through the neutral zone this week than they were last week.
Well, you go back to the first goal of the game tonight, right? That was a nothing shot that happened to hit Ting and just make a lucky bounce, and it ended up in the back of the net.
Oh,
so there's one of those shots with a great shot by Hu, but no Sniper was able to collect it, and here come the Dogs. So here's Dixon now bringing it in over the blue line, Intercepted there by the sniper defender, and Nikitin now will give chase against Leo. Leo just keeps it out, collects it here for Dixon. He'll send it over to his demon in Leo. So Trevor Leo now looking for Carpenter, just misses him, but he'll skate back and collect that. So not much forward pressure now, allowing the dogs really to really pick their passes out. And Leo will finally get that out of the zone and take it in himself. So Trevor Leo now gets it past McMahon, looks in front, looking for Ting, just not able to get a stick on it. So Nikitin now will collect it for the snipers and chip that off the wall over to Webster. Webster battling with Dixon, but Dixon comes out with the puck. So Dixon circling behind, sends it in front, but a nice save there by James. Ting now chips that behind, and we have the snipers finally getting it out through Metcalf over to Hu, but only as far as the defense again in Robertson. So here come the dogs again, pass in front, intercepted over to Ting, Robertson to Ting, and McMahon will pick that up on the half wall.
I think Mikey Ting showing us some superb play both today and last week. His presence on the ice is, as you were saying earlier during the warm-up, so making so much dominance. He's everywhere. Everywhere you look on a forecheck, there's Mikey Ting.
Yeah, the dogs are playing with such energy in the offensive zone that the minute the snipers get the puck, they just can't see a blue jersey. All they see is black. And that's going to be something, again, just like this, where they're forced to chip it out and give it to those mobile defenders. So that was a great pass there by Robertson to Joyce. Gets it over to Shuma, who looked for the middle, but that's intercepted there by Metcalf. So finally the snipers get it out, and Metcalf's just going to whip that in on Holland, who will leave that for Robertson to collect behind his own net. So not much pressure here. It allows Robertson to skate out. He's getting chased by Van Down, but Robertson will take it all the way into the offensive zone. And with Tashuma with just one leg in front, we'll have an offside call. And,
so interesting to see the dogs running Kahu Joyce in forward. I think he might even be playing centre, which is an interesting thing for him. Obviously, he's very capable of it, and he's showing us some pretty effective play in that regard.
Well, the thing about Kahu, he's such a great skater, right? You know, he's got jets on him, and he plays a physical brand of hockey, right? So putting him up in the forward line, you know he's going to get there first. He's going to have that energy to skate, but he also won't be afraid to lay the body a little bit and separate the defender from the puck and allow some of those other players on the team to really collect that and get into some great scoring opportunities.
And if we can get an aggressive physical forecheck, that always has that hesitation in the mind of the defenders going in for a corner battle as well.
Yeah, so that was Jamie Burke just taking over the blue line. A little interception there, and or a little bobble at the blue line, and that'll go in offside.
We've got the Burke and Vajasov line on at the moment.
Yeah, and with Leo and Carpenter on the back, who've been very good at being mobile and collecting that here from the D line as well. So here's Lazzarato battling with Vajasov. But Vajasov gets it back there to Carpenter. So Carpenter takes it in front of his own net, looking for Leo, but a great job there by Monroe
just missed that one.
to separate it, but couldn't, as you said, couldn't get to Lazzarato. So here comes Vajasov, looks over to Burke. Burke with a shot off the crossbar and out, and that'll get centered into the puck, and Van Douwen does a great job to get that over to Lazzarato. So here come the snipers. There's two of them. Lazzarato tried to find Monroe, but Ruddle was able to intercept that. So the dogs now battling in the corner here. They're going to send it across to Leo, but a nice body laid by Monroe, and that'll call it for the first period. Shots 9-3 for the CCM Dogs, and a 2-0 lead here in the second final of the Pro League Grand Final Series.
And we'll be back with you in 1 minute for the resumption of hostilities. In Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia, for the second period of the second game of the Grand Final Series between the CCM Reservoir Dogs and the Elwood Snipers. The CCM Dogs with a 2-goal lead at the end of the first. It's been a pretty even game on the ice. Dogs just a little bit more assertive through the neutral zone than the snipers having to do a little bit of chip. But they're improving throughout this game, and it's been a pretty exciting tussle so far. And we're about to resume the second period. Over to you, Anton.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, it's been really all dogs. I'd like to say it's been back and forth, but the dogs have really dominated and really off their forecheck. So the snipers really are going to have to up their own tempo and really get out of the neutral zone and do some forecheck into their own, because without that, this could be it for the Pro League, eh?
Yeah, we would like to be back tomorrow night.
That's for sure. So the snipers get it deep, and that gets through to Bennett. So Lazzarato does a lovely job there of intercepting that puck, but can't find a teammate in the front, and that's Ting, who got that back there into the corner for Bennett. So Bennett now off the half wall finds Ting, and Ting will skate it out. Ting taking it through the neutral zone, looking for Koenig, finds Koenig on the puck. Dixon now collects it, sends it in front, but nice save there by James. Puck comes back to the point now for Bennett. Bennett chips it down deep. Here's Koenig, walks off out of the half wall, into the slot, looks across for Robertson, who pinches, and great job there by Sincata to collect the puck and get that out of the zone. But the Dogs will regroup and send that deep, and Mikey Ting, as he often does, will give chase there on the big man of McMahon. But he does a great job to pitch and curl and send that over to the half wall for Sweatman. Sweatman finds Sincata, who sends it back into the behind the net for Sweatman, who will look up for McMahon, who will send that down the length of the ice, and that will be icing.
Yep, bit of a they were trapped in their defensive zone again. Just by that powerful forecheck, you could see how well Mikey Ting, just continual movement, every option they had. There was one guy, and he was there everywhere they looked. It's pretty incredible play from him. He's really come into his own in the last few games. That's
for sure, and that's exactly what I'm talking about there, Carl, right? Every time the snipers get the puck in their own zone, they just can go left to right behind their own net, but they can't find that pass out of the zone right now, which is really hurting them. So here's Sweatman, will chip that out, looking for Lazzarato, but can't find him, and he'll go off for a change and allow him, the big man of Michael McMahon, to collect the puck behind the net. He'll find the captain in Webster, who has a Nikitin stretch looking, so he'll dump that down for Nikitin to give chase. Nikitin picks it up in the corner, looks in front for Webster, but not able to collect that and intercept it. That just popped out of the blue line, and Subert takes that in for offside.
Yeah, it was only a couple of inches, but as they say, a couple of inches makes a difference. And that keeps the snipers back out to a neutral zone face-off. They're going to have to do something about that neutral zone and breaking it out and beating that Dogs forecheck somehow. Otherwise, it's just not going to happen for them.
That's for sure. And what they need is that chase. So where's the snipers here?
Yep.
Right? And there we go. Nice hit there by young Nikitin. He'll collect the puck now and nearly got rewarded for his forecheck. And who will battle here with Morris and able to just force Morris to chip that all the way down, and that will be called off for icing as Tashuma was able to beat the puck. So great hustle by Tashuma there. He'll battle against two dogs and with two snipers, and out with the puck will be who gets that through to Ruddle, shot in and deflected just over the net by Burke. So Ruddle now curls in the corner, looks in front for Burke, but that'll just get intercepted by who'll send that over to Nikitin, and he'll just throw that off to an open wing.
Jamie Burke there, a little bit unlucky. He didn't get a little deep reflection there while he was floating free in the slot, and here he goes again.
Here he is, so cuts in, tried to go inside, outside in Sincata, but great job just to watch the body and not watch the puck, and he was able to negate that opportunity there. So here's Webster there with Robertson, who'll get that back to McMahon. McMahon with a nice stretch pass. That's probably one of the first good breakout passes we've seen from the snipers so far, and they nearly got rewarded. Lindsay Nash got a shot on, and he'll battle there with Verjasov, but Jamie Burke will collect it on the half wall with a great stretch pass there for Robertson, looking for Verjasov. But that was a great defensive play there by Lazzarato. So Verjasov was cutting through the middle. The puck was coming to him, but Lazzarato was just able to tie him up and force him to miss that pass, and then forced Ruddle to bring that in offside.
Here comes the offside, exactly. So snipers with a little bit more enterprise in that last little burst. Let's see if they can keep it up.
There we go. So Lazzarato wins the faceoff, and here comes Sweatman. But a great stick there by Robertson. Only finds Metcalf, but just offside.
So the same issue that the snipers had, the Dogs had literally 30 seconds prior, just sneaking a little bit over the blue line. But you do encourage that enterprise. The occasional offside is a cost you pay for the price you pay, I should say, for a player making a move and getting the pass not quite been complete. But you've got to have that enterprise. You've got to take those chances.
Yeah, so face-off win by Lazzarato, and chipped out there and nearly had Verjasov breaking deep, but Sincata was able to chip that down into the Snipers' offensive zone. So here's Sweatman behind the net, evades a check by Robertson, finds Lazzarato. Oh, looked in front for Sweatman, but just wasn't on the same page there. That was a great little behind the back no-look pass by Lazzarato there.
It was good play. The opportunity was certainly there.
So here are the Snipers. Here's Monroe. Winds and shot. Save. Gets the rebound. Puck comes loose. Oh, but Sniper's not able to collect that. So Sincata now sends that over to Monroe, who just fans on the one-timer. But it gets down to Lazzarato. Back to Monroe. Chips that looking for Lazzarato. Metcalf battling, and Monroe now still with the puck. So Monroe's having a good shift here, battling hard. This is that kind of offensive pressure that the Snipers need. And that is Robertson just chipping it out only as far as Sincata. Subert fans on that pass, and that's not the guy you want collecting it. Jamie Burke over to Ruddle, takes a shot, but into the trapper of Michael James.
Mikey James up to that one. That was a little bit of an easy pass to him, to his catcher.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good stanza there from the Snipers. Actually got some forechecking pressure, made a big difference.
Yeah.
Just not quite with the same level of precision, the urgency just not quite there. So when they do get those little opportunities bobbling up in front of the net, there's just no one there to pounce on it.
It's those second and third battles, right? And then I mean, Monroe will be wishing he could have had that one back, because that was a great pass over that he happened just to, fan on that one-timer. But as you said, great little shift there from the Snipers. Let's see if they can build on that. So here's Webster behind his own net with a pass for Nikitin that just missed him and went back to Leo for the Dogs. So the Dogs in their own end now. Carpenter sends it over to his D partner in Leo. Leo now looking, sends that back behind the net for Carpenter. Great battle there by Nikitin, but he's going to be going for tripping as he went for the puck. Yeah, I think he went for the puck, but unfortunately found the skates of Carpenter.
Yep. And
he'll be off for 2 minutes or less.
Yeah, the rules are pretty clear there. If you trip someone over, whether it was intentional or not, or playing the puck or not, you get a 2-minute break. And Snipers don't need to be doing penalty kills. They do have a good penalty kill, but they don't want to be doing it. They want to be scoring goals, and that's what they need at the moment. The Noma got no goals yet so far through this period, with about 7 minutes into it. But they do have Jamie Burke and Vijasov on for a power play.
Yeah, and watch the Dogs. They love their movement on the back end. They obviously start Burke on the point, but they all move all over the place. And the Snipers are going to have to make sure they hold their position and they don't get sucked into all the movement of the Dogs. So here's Leo behind the net now for the Dogs. Having a look, sends that to the point for Vijasov now, looking for Burke, but intercepted by Van Douwen, who'll send that down the rest of the ice.
Yeah, good clearance there. You can see the experience of McMahon and helping out Sincata there in defence, just keeping that pattern nice and stable.
So here's Jamie Burke now picking it up in his own zone. Nice little stretch pass to Vijasov. So Vijasov on his off wing takes that to the half wall. Nice little move to evade McMahon. Takes it still with Vijasov, back to Burke on the point. So Burke now walking the line, nice little fake shot there to try to evade Van Douwen. A shot deflected, but into the corner for McMahon to pick up. So McMahon will chip that, but only as far as Burke. We'll find that for Carpenter, but just outside of the zone. Will force the Dogs to tag up. And a great little interception here by Lazzarato. So Lazzarato shorthanded, but a nice block by Carpenter getting the leg down.
Yeah, I think Carpenter's found his mojo from last week. He's got much better touch this week.
So Burke finds Verjasov now. Verjasov 1-on-2. He's in on Sincata, takes it wide, looking, curls back. He's got Robertson on the point. We'll see if he finds him. Verjasov, there we go, over to Robertson. So Robertson over to the far point, looks for Burke, over to Verjasov. Nice little one-touch pass. Verjasov now, a little head fake, trying to find some movement. He'll send that over there to Robertson. So Robertson just on the circles with a shot, squeezes just out, but wide. Dogs still with the puck though, through Verjasov, who will find Burke, over to Robertson. So Robertson on the far wall, over to Burke in the slot. So Burke walks through, finds Verjasov, who does a nice little move to bring it to the forehand. Shots off the post! Back to Burke, little fake shot. Over to Verjasov again. Another move looking to the center. And Van Douwen finally gets that puck out of the zone. So Verjasov with a few great scoring opportunities and one that rung right off the iron. To early in this power play.
The referees may have missed it too, but there might have been a hand there on Van Douwen's stick.
Yeah, don't tell the Dogs that. They'll be like, no chance, right? So nice penalty kill so far for the Snipers, and they're back now to 5-on-5. So great job. I mean, the Dogs had great offensive pressure, but the Snipers kept them to the outside, and apart from a few of those opportunities, that's not what you want. So Nikitin just rubbed Morris there into into the boards, and he came straight out of the penalty box and hit him from behind.
Straight back into it.
He's going to go right back.
Yeah, he had a little bit of a chat there with Morris. I think it was an accidental hit. He didn't mean to board him like that.
So just seen the call there from our referee Craig. That's a 2 and 10. So he's got 2 and 10. So he'll be sitting for 10 minutes, and the Snipers will need an additional player into the box.
And another power play for the Dogs.
Yeah. And it looks like Liam Webster is going to come across and sit the 2 minutes there for Nikitin.
So Kahu Joyce on now for the Dogs on this power play unit.
Yeah, well, that first power play unit played the whole 2 minutes, right?
They
so
did, yep.
Now we get to see PP2, right?
Yep.
So there's Morris getting it back to Leo, finds it over to Carpenter. Shot there along the ice, but a nice save by Michael James, who trying to shoot that out, but hit the skated to Shuma, and he'll regroup that back to McMahon. Cooper Metcalf able to squirt that out, and Morris will collect it in his own zone and circle with speed. So here comes Morris with speed into the offensive zone, curls back, and leaves it for Tashuma, who will send that back to Morris. So Morris now back into the corner for Tashuma. We'll have a look, and he'll whip that around over for Carpenter to collect on the far point. So Carpenter for the Dogs here on the power play, walking the line, sending that down for Morris. Morris now here on the point, looking into the slot with a shot, deflected there by Leo, but wide. Tashuma in front for Carpenter, shot, stacked the pads by Michael James, a rebound, scores! Kahu Joyce on the rebound after a great save by James. That's a power play goal, and we've got a 3-0 game for the CCM Dogs.
We certainly do. It's a good piece of opportunism there. The Dogs getting some good shots in from distance and just keeping pressure on that goalie through traffic. And you just got to keep peppering the net, and those rebounds eventually pop up, and then you get those shots. Kahu pretty happy about that. A nice selly for the crowd. I don't think he scored all that many this season. He's pretty excited about that one.
Yeah, great first save by James. You'll just see this on the CCM all-out replay, right? So Tashuma sends it in front. Nice save by James, but the puck just cuts loose to Kahu. Just rocketed that. I mean, you barely saw the puck cross the line. It went so fast, right?
Right place, right time, right stick, right goal.
That's for sure. So nice goal by Kahu Joyce on the power play, and we've got a 3-0 game, and it's looking pretty grim so far for the Snipers in their hopes to win the first series of Pro League on ice.
I'm not giving up on Saturday night's game just yet, but you certainly wouldn't be betting on it.
So here's McMahon now for the Snipers. He'll chip that back to Sincata, who will corral that behind his own net and look for a pass. He'll cut back, didn't like an option.
Team was cutting it off again.
Yeah, looking for a pass. So nice little fan pass that's actually going to work. And Monroe will collect that and take that in on speed. So he's going to try to get past, and Bennett just absolutely...
Welcome to iceHQ, Sunshine.
Just laid him out, and it looks like they're going to give him 2 minutes.
I'm not quite sure what the penalty there is for. It seemed like a pretty legitimate hit for us, but
maybe just the hands. I think we'll look here. We'll see what the referee call is, but I think he's just getting the extra hands in there, and it's a roughing penalty.
Yeah, an interesting call on that one. It looked pretty clean from here, but
yeah. Look, I think what the Snipers are going to say is they chipped the puck past, and then he got the arms up and went through for roughing.
Yep.
But obviously the Dogs are going to say that that was pretty clean.
The puck came out there offside as well. Another interesting call. Jamie Burke not very happy.
Nah.
That's two things he's been unimpressed by.
Yeah, and you can hear him there out on the ice. So power play, a much needed power play here for the Snipers. They'll need to score on this if they're going to want to get back in this game. And a great shot there by Sweatman, and a blocker save by Holland. Gets that into the corner for Carpenter to collect. McMahon chips that in, deflected, but just wide. Van Douwen now battling there. Sweatman gets it back to Sincata, who will send that deep for Burke, and Burke will send that into the front for Carpenter. But a nice job by Lazzarato to keep that in. Lazzarato still with the puck, takes that on the half wall, and we've got a slashing penalty now.
Looks like the Snipers for a little while are going to have a 3-on-5 as Carpenter getting two. So, some interesting calls.
Yeah, so Carpenter's got one for 2 minutes for slashing. I think both Carpenter and Bennett here next to us, they're not too happy with those calls, but
pretty fair to say they're a little bit bemused at best.
Yeah.
By some of those decisions, but the referee sees what they see, and as we know, there's no point arguing with it, because what the referee sees is what happened, whether you like it or not.
That's for sure. So 5-on-3, Sincata here for the Snipers on the point. So there'll be plenty of space for them to pass the puck around, and here's Webster. So Webster back to Sincata, takes a shot, deflected just wide. Webster picks it up in the corner, circles. He's looking for an open man, and he'll find Lazzarato with the shot, and that'll just go high and wide. McMahon collects it and sends it down to Metcalf. So Metcalf in the corner now, having a look, sends it across for Webster. So Webster back to Metcalf. He's got McMahon on the point there. Let's see if he'll find him, but he'll send that back over to Webster. Webster has a peek, gets it back to Sincata. Sincata winds up for a shot, and blocked there by Ruddle, and he'll get that down the rest of the ice, and we'll see Bennett come out of the box momentarily
5-on-4 in just a second,
for a 5-on-4.
Still on the power play for the Snipers, but not quite as dramatic as the 5-on-3.
Yeah, but nice puck movement there for the Snipers. They had a few opportunities, but just couldn't seem to find the open man there when they had the two-man advantage. So let's see what they do now with the 5-on-4. Ruddle has a stretch pass, and here comes Ruddle on a breakaway. In on James, Ruddle to the back and scores! Ryan Ruddle, shorthanded, takes the stretch pass and scores an absolute beauty. Backhand.
That's absolutely
Shelf.
not what Snipers needed, but absolutely what the Dogs wanted. It's I'm not going to say it's a runaway yet, but 4-0 with 2 minutes to go in the second. It's looking pretty grim for the Snipers. They're going to need to come out after the break with some pretty amazing legs and a fair bit of puck luck to come back from this deficit.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but you can't leave Ryan Ruddle on all alone on the blue line with not a single sniper in sight, especially when you have the extra man.
Snipers dropped there with a quick face-off because the Dogs were just a little bit of time wasting.
So here come the Snipers now, and Burke able to collect that for the Dogs, but isn't able to get it out, and that'll just go to the far corner for Van Douwen to pick up on the point. Into Webster's shot, and a great save by Holland. I think that hit the top of the stick.
And Carpenter's penalty now over, back to 5-on-5. Things getting a little bit heated at the moment. Some of the players perhaps a little feisty. See how that pans out with a minute and a half to go in this period. One face-off.
I think Burke's talking to Webster about that face-off drop, and I think Webster would have said, "Don't you remember? I think it was we were playing against you, and they did the same thing."
Ago.
Right?
Yep, absolutely.
So with no stop time, you got to another stretch pass.
Stretch passing happening again.
Yeah. With this lead, the Dogs are just going to be looking for that every single time, and the Snipers are going to have to be wary of it.
They can afford to take those risks and leave the D open a little bit because they've got their tails wagging.
So here's Sweatman with speed, circling in the offensive zone. He'll try to dump that into the corner, but that was intercepted by Carpenter. But Sweatman did a great job of collecting it. Finds Webster. Webster walks in front, shoots just wide. I thought that went in for a second there, Carl.
Yeah, we're a little bit of a
Webster were there, and that one did. Oh, there you go.
Snipers finally get one on the board.
Webster, what a sniper. Just found the top shelf. So the first one I thought went in the top left corner, and I was mistaken. But Webster, you see him here. He just circles there on the top of the circle, and just a beautiful shot
over the shoulder.
And just finds it there.
You can see on his face.
You can see on his face he was like, "Oh, finally," because that first shot was great too.
Well, they haven't had an awful lot of shots on the Snipers. That's just check the numbers. That's their 10th shot that they've had.
I'll tell you what, Carl, as we wind down here on the second period with 20 seconds remaining, that goal is a big goal. That drops that from a four-goal lead to a 3-goal lead. And from a Toronto Maple Leaf fan, I've seen a 4-1 lead before in a final.
Yes.
that has not maintained, right? Against your Bruins, right?
Absolutely. So we've only got a couple of seconds. That'll be the end of the second period. But I think more importantly, Anton, that goal, not so much the difference it makes to the scoreboard, which while significant, isn't a huge thing, because it's a mental thing.
Yeah.
No one's been able to score against the Dogs for a very, very, very long time. It's been quite a while since anyone scored a goal.
I love this ref cam. I wish it had audio.
We're probably just as well. It doesn't. But that's such a critical thing mentally for the Snipers. They go into the period and they've scored a goal on the Dogs, which means you can score another one. They're not impenetrable. There is opportunities there to score goals, and if they can get a couple more in early, maybe they get some more of those interesting penalties. Who knows? We've got a break now, 10 minutes for a cut, so we'll be back with you at 8:40, I think, is the right time. And in the meantime, we've got some adverts to keep you entertained, and we'll be back with you after the cut for the third period of round 2 of the final series between the CCM Reservoir Dogs and the ELWD Snipers.
I'm a king of the bits, they never seen this before. I gotta give them the script, yeah, I gotta leave them in awe. You know who they call when it's evil involved. I'm right in the store, the bigger they fall. Feeling like like I've been defeating the odd. Hands up like we asking for more. Yeah, let's go. Time is a goal. It's where my mind is. Right. I got my both eyes on the goal. I'm turning the tide.
Hockey is made of many things. Of early morning practices and cold rinks. Sticks and skates. Fresh sheets of ice and scuffed boards. Of grit and guts. Passion and power. Performance and precision. It's made of crushing physicality and split-second agility. Of generation after generation of lacing up, raising the cup, and not once giving up. We've always been, and always will be, true to this game. And this game doesn't demand much, just everything you've got. CCM.
I'm a king of the bits, they never seen this before. Woo! I gotta give them the script, yeah, I gotta leave them in awe. You know who they call when it's evil involved. I'm right in the store, the bigger they fall. Feeling like I've been defeating the odd. Hands up like we asking for more. Yeah, let's go. Time is a goal, it's where my mind is. Right. I got my both eyes on the goal, I'm turning the tide.
Nico, good try. Riley! Good try.
I'm a king of the bits, they never seen this before. I gotta give them the script, yeah, I gotta leave them in awe. You know who they call when it's evil involved. I'm right in the store, the bigger they fall. Feeling like I've been defeating the all. Hands up like we asking for more. Let's go, time is a goal. It's where my mind is right. I got my both eyes on the goal. I'm turning the top.
Hockey is made of many things. Of early morning practices and cold rinks. Sticks and skates. Fresh sheets of ice and scuffed boards. Of grit and guts. Passion and power. Performance and precision. It's made of crushing physicality and split-second agility. Of generation after generation of lacing up, raising the cup, and not once giving up. We've always been, and always will be, true to this game. And this game doesn't demand much, just everything you've got. CCM.
Welcome back, everyone, to Reservoir iceHQ Ice Rink for the third period of this second final, best of three between the CCM Reservoir Dogs and the ELWD Snipers. The score at the moment currently in the favour of the Dogs, who have outshot the Snipers 10 shots to 14. And the score at the moment is 4 goals to the Dogs and 1 to the Snipers. But the Snipers getting 1 just in the last clasp of the second period, which may give them just a little bit of a tail to pick up and see that you can score against the Dogs, and it's possible to do as we're about to get the third period underway.
Yeah.
I'm joined by Anton Goss again, and here we go, the third period.
Yeah, that was an absolute snipe by Webster, no pun intended.
That was a ripper.
But definitely what they needed. But they're going to need a few more. And here come the Dogs. So Ruddle gets over through to Burke, over to Vrjasov with the one-timer, but that just goes wide. Burke gets to it first, though, and he'll chip that over to Vrjasov. But here come the Snipers through Sweatman. So Sweatman gets it up to Van Down. He'll send that deep, but into the netting and out of play.
Again, the Snipers there running into a wall of black with not much in the way of an opportunity there to score. The Dogs just doing such a fantastic job of owning the neutral zone and just keeping the Snipers penned up.
So here's Lazzarato with a face-off win, and Sweatman will get that back to Sincata. So Sincata for the Snipers in his own zone will skate, looking for a body, and he'll take that himself. Just missed it, and Vrjasov's able to collect that in the neutral zone. So Vrjasov now twisting and turning, finds some space as he often does to the backhand, but a nice little stick there by Sincata to break that away. So here's Sincata now, chipped it back, but a nice job there by Vrjasov to keep that from breaking out.
The thing that happens there when Vrjasov does get tied up by 4 Snipers is that means there's 3 Dogs sitting out there without anyone on them.
Yeah, no, for sure. So nice job there by Robertson to keep that puck in and gets it down to Sincata, up to Ruddle, who finds Burke. So Burke now walking the line, gets it deep to Vrjasov, who wasn't able to connect on that shot, and that'll just go behind the net for Sincata to collect. Sincata tries to chip that out, but again by the Dogs, able to keep that in through Bennett. Finds Burke, sends it across to Vrjasov, and a shot, but that just goes wide. Burke now battling there with McMahon. Battling again, but the Snipers are going to look to get it out. But again, Vrjasov able to keep it in. And finally, the Snipers through McMahon able to chip that deep. But here come the Dogs again. Nice pass to Burke, who'll walk in, but can't get around Hu. So great stick by Hu. Drops that for Metcalf, who'll circle back for his defender, and Hu will look over for Van Down.
So a little bit slower out of the gate for this particular period. Neither team has really put the burners on. And Snipers need to lift that intensity about a good 10 or 15%. If they don't amp it up, there's just no way. And the Dogs have just taken the foot a little bit off the accelerator there in the last minute or so. You can see just not quite with the intensity, but they don't really need to. They can take their time and pick their chances, whereas the Snipers do not have that luxury.
Looking so far, I mean, we're only a few minutes into this third period, but I think one of the strengths the Dogs have had all season is they play as a 5-man unit. And when they get the puck deep, they've got their defensemen who are so good at holding that line and able to keep that in, which just continues that offensive pressure and often ends up with some goals. So here's Koenig now, who chips it out and gets it only as far as Hu. So Hu now for the Snipers finds Van Douwen, but Leo's intercepted that and will send that the length of the ice for an icing.
Going back. So you're absolutely right there, Anton. The Dogs just do such a magnificent job. They're D-owning and the back check from. They've got the confidence in their forwards to come through and cover if they do get caught on a pinch. And that's something that an elite level team has absolutely does superbly well, and that's what the Dogs do. I think probably better than anyone else, and that's probably been the single biggest difference is the way they cover for each other's responsibility.
So face off to the left of Holland, won by Webster, but that goes all the way out. And McMahon will have to take it into his own zone and collect it and send that puck out. But intercepted there by the Dogs, and here's Carpenter, who will send that deep. McMahon will force McMahon to curl in his own zone. So McMahon now cross D to Sincata. He'll have a looking for Webster, but just find the stick of Ting, who broke that pass up, allowing Carpenter to collect himself. So Carpenter for the Dogs now in his own zone, chips it up the wall. Sincata pinches. Not able to get there. There's a great stick there by Dixon to send that down the length of the ice. No icing, though, so McMahon will have to collect, and he'll take that to the safety of behind his own cage and look up for Nash. But just outside of his reach, which will allow Robertson to collect for the Dogs, send that up to Tashuma. Nice little drop pass for Morris. So Morris chips it in, and he'll go chase that himself. And Sincata stumbles, but able to collect in front. Nice save there by James. So Sincata fell behind. James made a save. It gets far to Robertson, and that that shot again goes wide. So McMahon now for the Snipers finally gets it out, but again just misses the stick of Nash. That's the second time the Snipers have looked for that same play and just wasn't able to collect it. But Nash collects it now, and he'll cross over the blue line for the Snipers, looking for the slot, but no one was there. Well, no sniper, should I say, and that was Bennett intercepting and finding Joyce. Joyce just looking for Tashuma, and I believe that was Morris, number 3 for the Dogs, who just was offside on that play.
The Dogs there have certainly picked up that intensity after that little stanza, so they've picked the pace
So
up quite a lot.
Let's take a look at this save of James. So Sincata falls. Morris does a great job to find Tashuma, and James just gets down and makes the pad save, which we could be looking back at that replay a little bit later if the Snipers can manage to score a few more.
We could well. I dare say that the Snipers are lucky that goalie's not paid for saves. Because
Yeah, definitely leads the league in that department.
yeah, he's done some absolute pearlers, but against it ends up just being a game of numbers, and sooner or later something goes in.
So here's Vrjasov now chipping it through to Burke. So Burke working on Hu, but Hu's able to keep him from cutting into the inside. So Hu behind his own net now, chips it off the wall to Sweatman. So Sweatman for the Snipers chips it through to Lazzarato. Lazzarato in the neutral zone looking for Nash. So he'll chip that to give chase, and Nash will battle there with Robertson. Puck comes into the front. Sweatman, a nice little job to pass that over to himself, and that go back. There's scores! There you go! Jeff Hu with one of those shots from the point that just happened to knock off a skate, and from the look of Lazzarato in front of the net, I think that went off the skate of Ryan Bennett of the Dogs.
We will see this on the replay
we'll see that. We'll see that on the replay, but that's exactly what the Snipers needed. Throw the puck on net, hope for a lucky bounce, and you know what, Carl? They're back in this game.
If you do it, if you put the puck there, that's when it happens. Let's see what the replay shows us. Right, we're not getting a replay.
That's all right. So we've got a 4-2 hockey game now. That's that's what the Snipers needed, and to be honest, on a really fortunate play for the Snipers there. And I think we could all start that from the young little Sweatman. He was able to corral that from from the air, put that down to his stick, and get it back to his defenseman, and Hu was able to throw that on net and deflect in for the goal. So 4-2 hockey game, and let's see if this goes straight to the legs of the Snipers.
With a classic shot through traffic.
So
making opportunities.
So here comes Koenig in, and we've got a hand up for a penalty. And it looks like we will have Sincata go to the box for 2 or less. And he can't believe it. But that's the name of the game, right, Carl? So Dogs now.
Certainly is. Now the Snipers will have their their penalty kill put to the test. They do have a very good penalty kill. They did it very well in the last period and held out for 3.5 minutes of 4.
Yeah, but the Dogs will be ever dangerous with the man advantage, and they'll be hoping to extend that lead back to 3. So here's Dixon now for the Dogs on the half wall, battling hard with McMahon. McMahon doing a great job just getting his stick on it, but the support of Koenig able to collect that for the Dogs, but McMahon gets it and dumps that deep for Holland to collect behind his own net. So the Dogs will regroup here through Leo, and he'll start skating it out himself. So out of his own zone, cross the blue line over to Dixon. So Dixon will dump that in, collect that off the skate of his teammate in Carpenter, and take that behind the net. So Dixon looks back for Leo and just misses him, and that'll go down the length of the ice for Holland to collect.
A good break there for the Snipers to get the puck out and buy themselves another 10 seconds less penalty to kill.
So Carpenter drops it for Burke, and we got the big boys out now on the power play for the Dogs. Burke finds Vrjasov, and finds Burke there in the slot, looking for Carpenter, but a nice job by Lazzarato to break that up. The puck will go down into the corner for Burke to give chase, and he'll take that behind the net, stop up, and have a look. He'll look over. Ruddle's asking for it, but finds Robertson, and there you go. So nice little job there by Burke. Faked the pass over to Ruddle and found a streaming Robertson through the slot, who made no mistake and put that into the far corner to extend that lead back to 3.
You've got to say he made that one look a little bit too easy.
Yeah, no, great job by Burke to suck that defender in, but an even better job by Robertson. You know, he activated off the point. He found that little bit of space, and Burke was able to get the puck to him, and he made no mistake with a wonderful one-timer to put that into the net.
It did boil down to a break in the structure there for the Snipers with that defence. Without Sincata on, who's been one of their major penalty killers, that was a big hole in that defence.
That's for sure. So we're back to a 3-goal lead for the CCM Dogs. It's 5-2 with 9 minutes left in the third period of this all-important game 2 of a 3-game series in the Pro League, the reboot of the Pro League. So here come the snipers with Cooper Metcalf taking that deep into the corner. Liam Webster now battling hard with Verjasov, sends that far for Ruddle to give chase.
And you can
Ruddle,
just see too, Burke starting to just circle around high looking for those stretch passes.
yeah, so Burke now gets it to Verjasov, who will circle in. He takes that wide and looked to drop it to Burke, but just wasn't able to collect it. But he was able to collect his own puck, and now here's Burke into the corner. Takes it in the front, looking, but no shot. That'll go far for Bennett. Bennett looking to get that down to Verjasov, but a nice interception there by Metcalf, but wasn't able to find Van Douwen nor Webster. So here come the Dogs again. Verjasov over to Ruddle, intercepted. So here come the snipers. There's 4 snipers streaming through. Webster dropping for Subert, throws it on, but just wide. Metcalf drops it back there for Webster, who just shields the puck with his body, takes it to the backhand, back to Metcalf. Looked to drop it to McMahon, but Jamie Burke able to intercept. So Burke battling hard with McMahon, and McMahon just able to keep Burke from cutting in. But Verjasov gives support, and now Verjasov on the backhand keeps it into the corner. He's got Carpenter on the point. Let's see if he finds him, and that he does. So Carpenter now walking the point, takes a shot into the glove of Michael James. But some great movement there by the snipers. They were able to get some opportunities, and despite the pass back to Lucas Subert, he got it on target. And
you can just see as Jamie Burke there skating off with a bit of a smile on his face. He got sat on his backside fairly firmly by Michael McMahon. Those two teammates coming up just a couple of weeks for the Melbourne Ducks. But as we said
That's
earlier today, they are best of enemies.
It was a great battle. You know, I think Burke thought he was going to squirt by, but McMahon stayed with him and negated a clean break for Burke to go in. So here are the Dogs now. Kahu Joyce on the far wall, just circling, having a look. He's going to walk into the slot, take a shot, but into the catcher of Michael James. Oh, look at this ref cam. That's great. Great view of Joyce just able to walk through, and a great save there by James.
I think Kahu would be looking to try and try and stick another puck in the net if he could.
Yeah, well, I know he's got a lot of fans out there. I've seen a few Kahu Joyce jerseys out in the crowd, so I know he'd be hoping to pot another one for them.
And speaking of the crowd, we have pretty much a full house here tonight in at the ice rink. You can hear at iceHQ, all the stands are full and the bar's full, and the people everywhere. It's a really good night. So one of the things that we've tried very hard to do here with the Pro League here at Reservoir is to get people involved and come along and watch a great game of hockey, and that's what they're seeing this evening. That's
for sure, and we'll be extending that through when the PHL starts with the iceHQ Ducks. And for those of you watching, definitely recommend you coming out on the weekend of the 14th and 15th when that gets underway. But here come the snipers for the Pro League, which is still going on with the Keaton, and that's just going to go offside.
So, Anton, I'm very much looking forward to seeing this Pacific League. It's going to be very exciting. It's a short season, which a lot of players are quite happy about. So the idea of like a 3 or 4 month season is really good for them.
Yeah, I think you know what I like the most about it is each round consists of back-to-backs, right? So it's over the weekends. It's a Saturday, Sunday, so teams get familiar with one another. So you almost have like these mini series, right? Each weekend, which will mean for some fun hockey, hopefully.
Yep, certainly will.
So here with 5 minutes and 40 seconds left in Game 2, the Dogs are looking likely to be crowned champions, but the Snipers will be doing their very best to battle hard. And here they are now, Lazzarato over to Sweatman, over the line, takes a shot. Holy smokes,
shot.
What a save by Damian Holland. That was an absolute belter by young Sammy Sweatman, which was looking straight for that top corner if it weren't for the blocker arm of Damian Holland. I think that actually hit his elbow. So wonderful shot
I dare
there.
say just about any other league in Australia that would have gone in.
Yeah, no, great save and a great shot. So that's what the Snipers are going to want. It just shows you how quickly they're going to be able to, potentially get some pucks in the net, right?
Yep,
It just takes a second.
Puck off the netting, so that'll draw it back for a defensive zone face-off. The Snipers get another chance to reset and get a shot on.
Yeah, and I just saw, I'm not going to say exactly what Liam Webster said, but I saw him look at the clock, and he said something that I think we all know what we'd be saying if we were him. He knows the clock's their enemy now. But a great shot by McMahon, and deflection there by Webster. Just went high, and Sweatman will battle there. And Robertson chips it out, can only get it far as Sincata. Sincata down to Sweatman, who's just lost it in his feet. But gets it back to Sincata, who'll send it deep. Nice job again by Robertson just to glove that down and collect it. He'll look for the half wall, but McMahon there intercepts it. So McMahon looking through the front, intercepted there by Robertson. So Robertson now with speed going in. He's got Ting on the far side. Shot off the post. Robertson with a great shot, but just hit the iron and then bounced out. So that could again be one that we're looking back potentially there, Carl. But early here now for the Snipers with 4 minutes left, they're going to need one quick.
There was a great lesson in that one too for defensive players, watching how McMahon covered back and shut off the passing option, so that so Mikey James only had to worry about the one player.
There we go, in front, Cooper Metcalf. Oh, the puck's loose. Oh, and the whistle's gone. Oh, so great save there by Damian Holland, and ref lost sight of it for a second. He blew the whistle, and it just squirted out just after. But a nice job there to get out the blue paint there by Holland to make his body big and make that save.
Yep, some good work. But that play earlier by Michael McMahon is one that you'd use in a training video to show young players. This is how to defend on an odd player rush. He did a superb job.
Well, you always got to say for those defenders out there, right? The goal, you got to give the goalie the shot. You trust your goalie to make the save, and you just make sure he's not forced to go for the rebound. Yeah. So here comes Burke now over the line, battling there in the corner with Subert. So there's 3 minutes left now in the game with Burke in the corner, and he's one of 5 players for the Dogs that actually got their hands on this trophy last time when it was still on wheels. And that was back in 2015, 2016, and they'll be hoping to get their hands on it again in about 2 minutes or 2.5 minutes. So here's Verjasov now circling there in the corner, finds his way into the slot on the backhand, over to Burke, shot, and he scores! Jamie Burke takes a shot and he makes no mistake, and I think Michael James got a piece of that one, but the shot just had too much velocity and it found its way. No, that was just a great shot. My mistake. Jamie Burke, no mistake with him. Great shot, and the captain scores a goal to definitely take this out of reach, and he's got plenty of fans in the crowd that are cheering his name right now, and I think it's, only 2 minutes left till he'll be getting his hands on this beautiful trophy here to the right of us, Carl.
I think it's got his name on there in a few places.
It definitely does, and I think if you look there when it was last on wheels, he was the captain that lifted it, and it's coming back to its rightful owner, I guess. And he'll be
for a season anyway.
Yes, for a season. But it looks like him and his teammates will be lifting it in a matter of minutes to conclude an undefeated season for the CCM Dogs, who just there was no one that could match them, right?
Yep.
Over what now 10 weeks, 10 or 11 weeks.
Yep.
Just no one could match their speed.
The Snipers were the only ones who got close.
Yeah, and close. Still, I think they got shut out that game, but it was 2-0, which is the closest of any of the matches so far for the Dogs. But they will be crowned rightful champions in minute and 18 seconds now, Carl.
Yep, so there will be no stop time in this particular game as Mikey James swallows up another one, running down the clock as the presentation of the trophy grows inevitably closer. It has been a fantastic series. We've been enormously privileged to get to be a part of this and to watch it from the position that we are.
We're obviously all on the Dogs, and they deserve it. But really got to give some kudos over to the Snipers. They put in a really great fight this season. They spent most of the season there on the bottom of the ladder, right? And they really came right at the right time. And they deserve to be in this final. But the CCM Dogs, the way they're built with that speed in the back end, those amazing offensive opportunities, they just seem to gel. And I know a lot of them play together here in the beer league as well. They gelled well, and they just were able to put the pressure on absolutely everyone, and were able to score in bunches.
And 20 seconds now to play in this final series. But I think the thing to remember with the Dogs is you're only as good as the teams you beat. And they've had some pretty high-quality opposition. The Snipers have played magnificently well. Clock running down now, 10 seconds to go. This will be the last face-off of the game.
Yeah.
If indeed the puck does get dropped. But they've had some great opposition, some really class players to play against, and that's forced them to play such a really solid game as well.
And here we are. They're off the bench. Great job, and here we are, CCM Dogs, the reboot of the PHL champions for 2022. Well-deserved. Get around them. Congrats, and great game there by the Snipers, but can't look any further. Amazing job here by our Dogs, Carl?
Yep, I think they start right from the very start. We spoke with Steve Bellick last week during the intermission between the long break, and he was mentioning how that Jamie Burke, the captain of the Dogs, put together a real strategy when it came to the draw. Because remember, this series was drawn players. They weren't. It's not a cooked team by any stretch of the imagination. There was a pool of players and captains and selectors, and they chose players from the pool. And for the Dogs to come through and be so dominant really does reflect incredibly well on the skill and work that Jamie Burke put into picking his team.
Yeah,
He picked the right players that would gel well together and combine well, and as a result, they won everything, and they did. They absolutely won everything.
I love this. You know, we got the veteran Damian Holland. He's gone and done the handshakes because you know he knows these snipers just want to get back to the dressing room, enjoy a beer, and then the dogs get their chance to celebrate. But it's been a absolutely cracking season, a real great little preview of some of the hockey that we're going to get to see in the Pacific League coming up on the 14th and 15th of May, where we'll have our first round hosted here between the Ducks and the Avalanche.
The Avalanche from Adelaide?
From Adelaide, which will be great. But I'll tell you what, right here, Michael James, you have had an amazing season, some absolutely highlight level saves. But let's not sleep on the goalies of the Dogs either. Both of them finished the season with under 2 goals against average. I think it was 1 goals against average for Dane Davis, and I think it was about 1.5 for Damian Holland. So, you know, all out, the highest scoring team for the PHL this season, CCM Dogs, and the best defensive team as well, CCM Dogs. So when you got the best defense and the best offense,
it's pretty hard to get beaten.
Pretty hard to get beat.
There's an old saying in hockey that in order to win games, you have to have the best defense first, and the Dogs certainly had just such a solid black line of you cannot get through this and can get so few opportunities to score on them, and that's what we've seen game after game after game, is that they've just been, no one's had opportunities to get shots on them with any sort of quality. Again, not taking anything away from their goalies, they did a great job, but they didn't get the same pressure on them that the players, that the other goalies got, simply because their line of defence was so solid, and they did such a good job of rotating through, and when they did get caught up high, there was always a forward coming back and back checking and just tidying it all up with so much speed.
I'm not going to say that nobody else wanted to win it, but I know I've chatted to a lot of these guys on the Dogs, and they were hungry. I don't know. I mean, I have a dog myself, and if I don't feed Hugo, he goes crazy. So maybe they didn't eat all season, but they're going to get to eat tonight, eh? And they're going to get this trophy. But, you know, really great season, and you know, this is going to come back again next year. And let's remember, these snipers, I think it's 57% of them under the age of 18, right? So they got a young squad. They're really going to see a lot of this, a lot of experience, and they'll be back next year, hoping to knock these guys off the perch. But you know, deserved champions. You know, some of the best hockey that we've seen so far here on this rink. That's for sure. By this complete team.
It has been magnificent. The other thing to remember too is that these, as you were saying, a lot of these players are coming up through junior ranks and like junior A and so forth, and they're getting such a fantastic opportunity to play a contact league against players who are national
there you
standard.
Go. Jamie Burke with the trophy.
With the trophy, he's got his name. He'll get his name on it again.
Yeah, no, that's great.
But
Absolutely
for these young guys getting this chance to do it, it's such a great opportunity for them, and that's something that I think that the rink has done so extraordinarily well, and we owe an almost a debt of gratitude to Ross Fisher for making it happen. This league is his baby. And getting it all up and running so that the junior players get a chance to mix it with, you know, players of the likes of McMahon and Burke and Vajazov, who are, you know, they're national champions in their own right. And they get to learn and develop and just improve so much in that exposure. It's priceless. It really is. So we're going to see them over the next few years, as you say, they're going to get more chance to develop, and it's going to make such a difference to the level of hockey they get to play in the future and improve the game here in Australia, I think, by an amount which would be very hard to quantify. But it's been great, Anton, and I don't know about you, but I've had a fantastic time here in the commentary box watching this.
I've definitely had a blast, and let's take a look at that on that CCM all-out replay. The beautiful team of the CCM Dogs there with the trophy, and congratulations, guys. Enjoy tonight, and we look forward to seeing many of you back with us again in a few weeks for the Pacific League.
Yep, so it has been all that. So we're going to sign off now for the Pro League. The Dogs winning 2-0 clean sweep throughout the entire season, but we will be back for the Pacific on May the 14th.
Thanks for following along with us, guys, and we look forward to much more hockey in our future.
And we will see you all again.
Thanks.